Good morning and welcome to Washington Live, powered by KCTC. I'm your host, Diana Rich, joined in the studio with Alex Snyder. Good morning.
Good to be here.
I feel like we should have worn Santa hats or something this morning.
We should have. Well, I guess we got one more episode before Christmas.
That's true. And you're not
Christmas.
And you're not doing a Christmas episode, you said?
No Christmas episode. Maybe a post. We'll see.
Matt's letting you have the day off.
Yeah.
Very generous of him.
Yeah, very generous. Could go home for Christmas.
I had a tote of Christmas sweaters. If I would have been on my game, I would have brought it for us to each wear one, but maybe next time. All right. Looking at later on the show, I have Chuck Clifton here, who's going to be talking to us about a program here in Washington, Celebrate Recovery. Had some good conversation with him before the show, and I'm looking forward to talking with him more and sharing that information with you shortly. But first, let's take a look at the weather. Cloudy, high of 46. Tonight, cloudy, 34. And tomorrow, chance of showers, high of 48. It's been kind of cold.
Yeah. It's gonna get warm, and it's gonna rain on Christmas. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that 50 either.
And rain.
And muddy and gross. I know it's kind of weird. It hasn't been real cold yet. And then it's like yesterday it was 15 degrees in the morning and it seemed really cold, but we haven't seen anything yet. No. I did drop my son off at school yesterday. And he got out of the car and I said, "Where's your coat?" And he's like, "Oh, I forgot it." I'm like, "You're like a 20-minute recess. You're wearing a sweater." So didn't get Mom of the Year yesterday, but I keep trying.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at community events. Looks like a Thursday noon concert series happening tomorrow at the Washington Public Library. We have the Holiday Laser Fest at the Washington Community Center on Friday. That sounds interesting. It's the Holiday Laser Fest by Laser Light Orchestra. There's two shows, Friday, December 22nd at 6:30 and 9 p.m., $15 for early bird pricing, which you had to have purchased before today. So
early bird pricing.
Now it's the normal pricing of $20 or $25 at the door. Get ready to experience the magic of the holidays like never before. Join us for the spectacular 2023 Holiday Laser Fest presented by the renowned Laser Light Orchestra. They almost hooked me.
They're on Friday.
That was a pretty good description.
Yeah, they're on Friday, so we'll learn more.
That's awesome. They're coming here on Friday. Talk to Tim. I love it. I'll have to tune in for that one. That sounds cool. Friday, there is a takeout traditional Christmas dinner in Brighton. Takeout only, no dine-in or delivery. So check that out if you're interested. And then we have the community Christmas dinner at the First Assembly Church in Washington. First Assembly of God is hosting this. To receive a meal, call 319-458-9032. Leave your name, specify dine-in, carry-out, or delivery, the number of meals you want, your address, and a phone number. You may also email them your reservation at wfaevents@gmail.com. You'll receive a confirmation call or email confirming your reservation. The meal will be a traditional Christmas meal. That sounds lovely.
Yeah.
That sounds really nice.
We had them on Friday, so gotta learn all about that.
Cool. When they were saying all the things that you needed to tell them, I was gonna throw in something funny, but then I decided that might confuse people, so I just left it to the actual details that they needed to know to get your meal going. Have a couple things on the Washington Police Report. So let's see what Alex pulled out for us today. A caller reports someone stole their windmill head. Subject found it before the police arrived. No theft. So they thought someone stole it, but it actually probably blew off because it's been so windy. Mm-hmm. Is that what we think?
Is a windmill head just the blade? Or
I was thinking, either a blade or a cap. Yeah, unsure. That's great.
Well, they found it, so
yes, good. Happy ending. We love those for the police log. Caller reports neighbor just pushing their car alarm for fun and annoying the neighbors. 109 responded and spoke with the owner. It's a defect issue, and they're trying to get it fixed.
So it wasn't just to mess with the neighbors.
At least that's what they said.
Yeah, I'm not believing it.
I got to prove it. That would be kind of funny just to annoy people, but that would be very annoying if I was on the other end of that. So, all right, that's all we have for the police report. We'll head to commercial break, and when we get back, I'll speak with Chuck here with Celebrate Recovery.
Federation Bank is a locally owned bank providing award-winning customer service. We believe that we are more than just a federation of banks, but a federation of communities, serving Brighton, Richland, Wellman, and Washington, Iowa. Federation Bank's highly skilled staff is here to make sure you are able to accomplish your personal and professional goals, whatever they may be. Federation Bank, your family bank. Family owned and operated by Andy and Sarah Ross, Ross Auto has been your vehicle repair and maintenance headquarters since 1935. We specialize in all makes of cars and light-duty trucks. With our variety of available services, let us help you keep rolling and your vehicle operating efficiently. Services include general auto repair, alignments, brakes, fuel injection, and more. Schedule your appointment today at 319-653-5656. That's 319-653-5656.
I am Melissa Westfall with Homegirl Realty. Heather and Charlotte and I have worked together for many years, and we have always had a vision to have a business together.
I'm Charlotte Howard, and the good news is we bring a very high level of experience. We have a combined 80 plus years of experience in this real estate marketplace.
I'm Heather Merrick, and Homegirl Realty brings a lot of things to the table. We have phenomenal communication with our clients, buyers, and sellers to make sure things are going smoothly and you don't have anything to worry about.
Hey, Emmy. How do you organize a space party?
How?
You plan it.
Plan it.
Welcome back to Washington Live. I'm your host, Diana Rich, joined in the studio with Chuck Clifton, here to tell us a little bit more about Celebrate Recovery and the program they have going in Washington. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about yourself, Chuck, and your background.
Background, I was in sales most of my life, and then finally retired now. And I work part-time for the hospital. I'm one of the couriers, so if you ever see the WCHC RAV4 running around town, I'm in it on Thursdays and Fridays and take the medicines around town and stuff like that.
Very good. So people might see you around town.
Yep.
So tell me a little bit about Celebrate Recovery, just kind of an overview of what the program is.
Okay, Celebrate Recovery is anybody that's got hurts, habits, and hang-ups that they want to overcome. A lot of people have thinking of recovery as it's just strictly alcoholics and our addicts, but that's a small percentage because everybody might have some type of hurt, habit, or hang-up that they're having an issue with, whether it be in the past or whatever. And so it's not just exclusive to those two groups.
Yeah.
So we can have it broke down for anger management, PTSD, whatever you get. You're afraid of spiders, we can get a group for that. Yeah, so it is. Yeah, it's open to just about anything.
Yeah, I like how hurt, habit, and hang up. It's like who doesn't have at least a dozen of those in their life, right? Of some sort. So, so how long has this program been going on in Washington?
Washington's been going on for about 3 years, and I've run it for the last over a year here. Originally, I got involved we had it going in Brighton for several years from about 2017, and that's where I got involved. And then they had a couple people came down and wanted to start one here, so when they got started, I came up here to help because I've been through the program, and then we got it going here. So since then, we branched out. They've got one going in Fairfield, Mount Pleasant, Burlington has one, Fort Madison, and down by Ottumwa, there's a couple there, and it's up north. There's over 30,000 places at one time, and probably more than that now, across the country and overseas.
Wow.
It started originally in California at Saddleback Church by a man by the name of John Baker, who was an alcoholic and had tried everything else and wasn't working, so he set this up through that church, and then it went from there. In 2020, the information I got, there's been over 7 million people go through this, but about an 80% recovery rate.
Wow, that's really great. So tell me a little bit more about, what's going on in Washington. When does the group meet? What does the format look like?
Well, since this is faith-based, we meet every Tuesday night at the Washington Methodist Church.
Okay.
And at 6 o'clock it starts. We usually have a meal, and then we break into a worship session, and then we either have a lesson or a testimony, either on a video or a live testimony from somebody in town. Then we go through the guidelines, and then we break into small groups. And we keep it separate. We have men's groups and women's groups, and depending on how many people we have, we break it down to, say, addicts and alcoholics in one, and then we put it into what we call the A to Z. So whatever other problems you got, we kind of group people together. The more people we have, then we could have a group for anger management, PTSD, and so on. So whatever, we're going to, because trying to mix the two together at times, I don't have the experience, an alcoholic does, and I don't have PTSD, so it makes a difference.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes...
You get talking with people with like situations and what we like to match them up to.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense. What age group does Celebrate Recovery serve?
We start, starts with, anybody that's got a problem. Mostly after people are in their, say, their 20s up to, I'll be 79 in a couple of months. So we have people that are, older, middle age, and down. So, and that's the way it goes. And it works out best that way because the older people that have been through it can help the people down below.
Yeah.
And give them encouragement. We always, when you get started with this, they specify you get an accountability partner and a sponsor to help you through the process. Mm-hmm. And it's basically, similar to AA, the 12-step program, but with this, we include the Beatitudes from the Bible.
Okay.
So we mix the two together. One of the things I found with the people that come from AA to try this, when you get up, somebody goes to get up and introduce himself, they get up and they say, "Hi, I'm Chuck, I'm an alcoholic." Well, we ask them not to do that. We say, when you get up to introduce yourself and have something to say, get up and say, "My name is Chuck. I'm a grateful believer in Jesus Christ, or I'm a child of God, and I suffer from alcoholism, PTSD." So rather than just labeling yourself for what you're suffering from, so that you got in your mind. So it's harder to break that. Once you get thinking, I'm a child of God first, and secondly, this is my problem, that I'm working on. So that's how we work it. Once we get that across to them, then it starts to change their attitude towards things.
Yeah, I like that. Mind over matter type of thing.
Right.
Yep. So what if someone, wants to come, but they have kids or they have, different obstacles that can't get them
We
there?
have child care.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have people that volunteer to take care of the kids, and we have kitchen help people that volunteer to cooks, everything. And like I said, the only part of the leadership have to go through the program, and they don't have to be up front, but they have to, if they want to be part of the decision making, then they have to go through the process.
Okay.
So we always have child care, and then Celebrate breaks down too that where they have a celebration place where they work up with kids from infants up to about 13. Then they have what's called a landing. It goes from up to 18, 19.
Okay.
And so it works. This program kind of starts with the kids. Mom and dad got problems, and they're working on them. So if we can get the kids to go through some of these lessons, we can nip some of this in before it really starts to affect their lives.
Yeah. That's great. We have so many awesome, programs in Washington, and it's always great to learn about them. Just like Celebrate Recovery. So how is there like a certain length of the program if somebody wants to get involved? How can they just show up, or do they contact somebody? And then is it like an 8-week program, or is it like a forever thing? Or
if on your recovery, we're trying to tell you this is not a quick fix.
Right.
So it's an ongoing thing. I mean, people that go on diets, they go on diet for a short period of time. Well, I lost a couple of pounds. Okay, I'm fixed. And then they gain the weight back.
Right.
And it's just an ongoing process for a lot of people. We get them to think, when I deal a lot with, the addicts and the alcoholics, and after talking with people a long time, for a while, they can say, well, your drinking's not your problem. There's some other underlying issue that you have, some hurt or something happened to you in your childhood or somewhere along the line that, that's your trigger. Mm-hmm. So you see that then you'll say, well, I'll go have a drink, or I'll get high, or whatever. So you're just covering that up. So once you figure out, okay, what's my issue? I got PTSD, if I got anger issues, whatever it is.
Yeah.
and then we work from there. So it's an ongoing process. I've worked with people, and they have relapses all the time in the addicts and alcoholics, but it's still an ongoing. Whether if you're, like I said, if you're afraid of spiders, every time you see a spider, well, you can still have a flashback.
Yeah.
So it's an ongoing thing.
So if people want to get involved, they just show up on Tuesday night at 6 o'clock?
Show up on Tuesday night. If they can call the Methodist Church and get any information. You call the secretary there, will give you my phone number, or which is 319-480-2012.
Okay.
And then they can call me, and I can give them the information. So so far we've generally run anywhere from 25 to 40 people come, and this is strictly confidential and anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you attend Celebrate Recovery, and I would see you on the street with a bunch of my friends, and we'd start to talk, and somebody say, well, how do you know that person? I cannot say they go to Celebrate Recovery.
Yeah.
And I know them from the church.
Yeah.
And anything that's said there stays there. If we have somebody come in, and they're laying out their problems, and it get back to me that, somebody, talked about it to somebody else. I tell them one time, well, you can't do that. If I hear about it again, you don't come back.
Yeah, that's good.
So we keep it strictly anonymous.
Very good. All right, very good. Well, let's head to commercial break, and then we'll come back and talk to Chuck and wrap up with a few more questions about how Celebrate Recovery can operate here in Washington.
At the Capper Auto Group, we put our customers' needs first and understand that everyone is as different as the vehicle they select. We offer new Ford, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram vehicles in a friendly environment that puts you in the driver's seat. When it comes to service, we maintain factory-trained technicians and competitive pricing. The Capper Auto Group still believes that service after the sale provides the best customer experience. Come see the Capper experience for yourself.
It's not a question of what all you have and so on with your life. It's who is in your life and how much you care for them and how much they care for you. And Tammy definitely cares.
Tammy about 20 years ago when her daughter was in Special Olympics and I was coaching, told me that she was into doing senior benefits. We became even closer friends. She cares about everybody, especially the seniors, so call her.
In the heart of rural Iowa, where community matters most, the connections we make are made to last. Meet KCTC, your hometown internet, phone, and TV provider. At KCTC, we're not just about technology, we're about people. Our dedicated team are your neighbors, committed to bringing you top-tier services right where you live. We believe in giving back to the community that raised us. Experience the power of a real connection with KCTC. Join us in building a stronger, more connected Southeast Iowa.
Washington County Hospital and Clinics, providing quality health care that puts you first. Whether during a hospital stay, seeing a primary care provider for wellness exams or sick visits, minor surgery to a total joint replacement, or recovering from an injury, we're here when you need us.
More than you expect for your health care. Washington County Hospital and Clinics.
Welcome back to Washington Live, powered by KCTC. I'm your host, Diana Rich, and I'm joined in the studio with Chuck Clifton, who's here representing Celebrate Recovery, which is a nationwide program that they offer here in Washington and have for the last few years. And it's at the Washington Methodist Church on Tuesday nights at 6 o'clock. And starts with a free dinner, which is always a good way to start any meeting or event. You were talking a little bit about, the number of people that that Celebrate Recovery reaches. You said 25 to 40 people. How are you able to manage all that? Do you have people that work for you?
Everybody that comes in and helps out is a volunteer. We have 3 women that do the work in the kitchens, and we have people. A couple comes usually every Tuesday, and we have help for childcare, and we take them up to the nursery at the church, and then we have somebody who runs the tech deals, and then in the background, and then the rest of us. There's actually 5 leaders.
Okay.
And then so when we break it down, and then when we break into the small groups, it's women and men. So we have guys leading the men group and women leading the women's group.
Yeah.
We don't mix the two together.
Okay. And so all these leaders, is there some kind of certification process or training that they have to go through to be able to lead?
The leaders do. I mean, they go through the same 12-step program that everybody else is working on.
Yeah.
And been through it. Usually they go through once a week, and it takes 25 weeks to go through the thing totally. There's no cost to it at all. I mean, the meal's free. We do have some people that come that they throw some money in the collection plate for the meal, $3-4 at a time, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I've got donations from other churches and other organizations.
Okay.
Send it in.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question: is how are you able to maintain this group that meets every Tuesday? I'm sure it's a mission of the church to kind of help. But if someone's listening and it is the season of giving, if they want to make a donation or
we've had people even donate food. In Thanksgiving, a woman called and said, "Well, I got a couple of turkeys that I need to get rid of," and so they brought them down. One of the people at the church, he fixed a Thanksgiving meal with turkey and dressing and donated that. And people do things like that. And we talked to told them at the missions group or any missions group, if you want to do something like this, bake some brownies or cookies, or make a casserole, donate it, and just bring it down on Monday. We got a refrigeration down in the church, put it in there, and then we'll serve it up and give you a notification, tell everybody just donated by, so-and-so.
Very good. And
It
then
works out good.
Yeah. And then if people want to send a donation in, they just send it to Washington
United Methodist Church and put on the memo for Celebrate Recovery.
Very good. Awesome. So, we talked a little bit about it, but if we just kind of want to recap kind of what Celebrate Recovery is and who it's for, just for those who maybe just joined the show.
Yeah. Well, Celebrate Recovery is for anybody that's got any hurt habits or hang-ups that they want to get rid of. It's not just strictly alcoholics or addicts, which is a small percentage of it. In fact, I think nationwide it says like 13% of that. And so when we have the lesson, and it starts out in progression. And the first lesson is always denial. That if you showed up to Celebrate Recovery, you've decided that, I got a problem and I need help.
Yeah, and you're going to do something about it.
I've tried everything else on my own, hasn't worked. And so then they come in. We do have what they call a chip ceremony, just like AA does, and it shows your progress. Have you been clean, sober? How you been dealing with your issues for, 30 days, 60 days, up to years, and it goes on. up to, I think they go up to over 50 years now.
Yeah.
That you get something like that. And it's usually the first coin is the blue one that says, you know, I admit that I have a problem and I need help, and I'm going to turn things over and allow God into my life. Where in higher power at the other organizations, it's just a higher power. With Celebrate Recovery, it's Jesus. It's the higher power.
Yeah, I love that.
And that's the difference in a lot of it. And like I said before, once you come up, when I get up every morning, every night to talk to these, you know, and introduce myself, you know, it says, "Hi, I'm Chuck. I'm a grateful believer in Jesus Christ. I suffered from alcohol abuse and pride. You know, I didn't need God in my life until I needed God in my life, and it made a difference."
Yeah.
So that's, you know, so we always get them to say, you know, who you are first is not what your problem is.
Yeah.
Who you are as a child of God first, and you suffer from whatever your issue is.
Yeah.
Even if it's gamophobia, which is a fear of commitment, which is usually a big issue with a lot of people.
Yeah. Very good. Awesome. Yeah, what a great program to have here in Washington for people to take advantage of if they have hurts, habits, or hang-ups. And, yeah, just show up at the Methodist Church.
You can call anybody if you want information. For a newcomer, if you call me, then I can give you the same rundown for newcomers that we usually start out. You know, not everybody that comes, you know, right away feels safe to talk about their issues. I tell them, come, just listen.
Yeah.
You know, all you have to say is who you are.
Yeah.
You know, so you shouldn't have any problem remembering who you are. So it's pretty simple. Just get up and just give your first name. Hi, I'm Chuck.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, it sounds like a neat community of people, and yeah, what a great resource to have here in Washington. One question I didn't prepare you for, but I'm going to ask you: what is the most rewarding part of being a part of this organization for you?
Organization.
Yeah.
Seeing the change in people's lives.
Yeah.
To go from being a zero to being a hero, you can just see it almost instantly. Of course, being a pastor, it helps. You know, when you lead these people to Christ, you know, and you can just see once they get started, it just looks like their whole countenance changed. It's just the weight has been lifted off of them.
Yeah.
That, you know, I'm finally at a safe place with people that not judging me for anything, but glad to see me.
Right. Yep. Very good. That's wonderful. Thank you for joining us today, Chuck.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was nice to meet you and learn more about Celebrate Recovery. Did Alex tell you what you'd have to do at the end of the show?
No.
No warnings. All right. Well, we're going to throw you into the ringer. First, we always talk about what the national day is.
Go Caroling Day.
Go Caroling Day. I like caroling. That's always fun.
National Sangria Day.
National Sangria Day. Do you like to sing, Alex? Did you ever go caroling?
I never went caroling, but people would come over to my grandparents' house caroling. So that's my caroling. I don't know if caroling's
a thing anymore.
You go caroling?
Well, when I grew up, we our youth group would go caroling at like the nursing homes in town, and that always brightened people's day. So I feel like there's still a version of caroling, but not quite like it used to be. So how about you, Chuck? Do you do any caroling?
No.
No.
I go carry a tune in a bucket.
Yeah, I'm doing everyone a favor by not going caroling is actually what I'm doing. So, all right. We end every show with a celebrity birthday game. So Alex will put a celebrity whose birthday is today up on the screen. There's going to be 4 of them. I'll guess their age, and then you can guess their age. Whoever guesses right on their age, which doesn't happen very often, gets 2 points. And if you're within 3 years, you get 1 point. And the winner has bragging rights.
Okay.
And I don't know if I know any of the people today, so this should be fun.
Well, hopefully you know some. I think you might.
Okay. Maybe I'll recognize their picture.
Jonah Hill. You don't know Jonah Hill?
Don't know Jonah Hill.
Super bad?
Nope. I don't. He has an interesting outfit on. I like it. I'll go 47.
I go with about 41.
Okay.
Chuck got a point, 40.
He's 40. All right, Chuck, look at you. Do you know who Jonah Hill is?
Yeah.
You do? Look at you. Nice.
He's popular. Next one. Peter Criss. It's the only recent picture I could find, so it's a little blurry, but he's the drummer of Kiss.
Okay. I'll go 73.
Chris, I'd say he's going to be about 75.
78. He gets another point.
Look at you, Chuck. 2-0.
Next one, Kylian Mbappe, French soccer player, popular.
27.
Do you know him?
Nope.
24.
25. So you both
get a point?
Both get a point.
All right. 3-1. Going into the last one.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, yeah, I know him.
You know Jake.
Yeah. His last name threw me off. It's spelled interestingly. 44.
Go with 40.
43. So.
All right. So we each got a point, right?
Yeah.
All right, Chuck, you won.
Chuck got a point on every one.
4-2. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Sometimes we'll go the whole game and there'll just be like 1 point scored. So I'm not really good at it, but you did good. What'd you think? What'd you think of the birthday game?
That's all right. I mean, some of them I didn't know who they were even.
Yeah, I know. That's what I run into too. So, well, thanks for joining us today
Thanks for having me.
Washington Live. Yep. Merry Christmas, Alex. I won't see you until
Merry
after
Christmas.
the holidays.
Yeah.
All right. Hope Santa finds you.
Hopefully he does.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for joining us today on Washington Live. I hope you have a great Wednesday.